So, the other day I had an idea to do something a little bit different on the channel, and today I'm going to try to defeat the Eye of Cthulhu on all difficulties using this. A blindfold that makes it so I can't see a single thing. Think it'll work? Let's find out. Hey there, my name is Salendrak, and welcome to what may be a new series of Terraria content, where I do weird and crazy challenges. Today I'll be attempting the Eye of Cthulhu blindfolded, which I don't know if anyone has ever done before. I'll do Classic, Expert, Master Mode, and even try for the Worthy Master Mode while I'm at it. If you have ideas for future challenges, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to check out my other videos and playlists where I have various guides, edited playthroughs, and live streams for both Terraria and Don't Starve. Now let's get to it! Now some of you might be thinking, Eye of Cthulhu blindfolded, that's easy, just use the Zenith. And yeah, that is super easy, barely an inconvenience. But no, I want to do things totally legit, using only pre-hard mode gear appropriate for when you would normally be fighting the Eye of Cthulhu. So for this challenge, I'll be using a journey mode world so I can easily adjust the difficulty and time of day. I'll start out on Classic and then move up from there. And to make sure you all know it is legit, I'll keep my webcam on for the fights and not cut any of the fight footage, though I may speed parts up a bit here and there. The first thing I do to prepare is to adjust my normal fighting arena. I usually have open ends and platforms along the bottom level, but since I'll be blind, I want to make sure I can't accidentally fall out of the arena and get stuck somewhere else. So I surround a fairly smallish area of the arena with wood blocks, which, being less than a full screen wide, will also ensure that I don't get any mobs interfering with the fight. Looks like I derped up this wall, oh well. Access port goes into the top corner, which is high enough that I won't be able to accidentally jump out during the fight. Next, I go ahead and grab a couple of life crystals to get me up to 200 health, the same amount that can allow the eye to naturally spawn at night. For armor, I'll just be using a suit of platinum armor, and for accessories, I'll be primarily using mobility items. None of these have been reforged, though the Band of Regeneration does happen to have warding on it. So yeah, pretty low-level gear, the sort of stuff you might normally have for fighting this boss. I grab a heart lantern, which I think I had never bothered to add to this arena, but I don't use the summoning table for the extra minions. The only buffs I'll be using are just a few basics: Iron Skin, Swiftness, and Regeneration. Arena buffs are only the campfire and the heart lantern, and my only healing potions are just regular ones that restore 100 health. I spend a little time getting a feel for the movement with my eyes closed. Kind of looks like I'm meditating or something. For weapons, I'll be using a single Flinx summoned minion. This is largely so that I'll have a bit of an auditory cue as to where the eye is, as I should hear the sound as the Flinx hits the eye. And for primary weapon, I'll just be using bone throwing knives. They have a good trajectory as well as piercing, so as long as I throw them somewhat upward or to the side, they'll make a bit of a rain of damage that should be good at taking out the servants while also doing good damage to the eye. The blindfold goes on my head, I double check my difficulty settings, then unfreeze time and set it to dusk. I'll be using hotkeys to use the suspicious looking eye to summon the boss. Buffs get activated, the blinder goes on, and I start the fight. I have no idea what direction the boss will be approaching me from, so I just start running around throwing my knives. Since the eye on Classic isn't terribly fast, my plan is to try to keep my cursor above and behind me, which should maximize my chances of actually doing damage. I'm doing this based on feel and sound alone though, so most of them miss, but every now and then things get lined up nicely, and here watching the replay, I'm honestly surprised at how well this is going. I sometimes miss the timing of the double jump to go up a platform level, so I'm probably a lot lower in the arena than I think I am at this point. I get up to the top of the arena and then hear the roar of Phase 2 beginning. Since the charges are more frequent now, my plan is to try to move around in a circular pattern trying to aim above and behind me. And before I know it, the fight is over, though it takes me a few seconds to figure out that I won. My mask goes off and I'm happy. That was easier than I thought it would be. Though to be completely honest, I rather expected it to be easy. On Classic difficulty, the eye just doesn't do much damage, and with my regen, I basically instantly healed whenever I got hit. So let's try Expert difficulty. I freeze time and set it to noon to make a few arena adjustments. Watching the replay, I realized that a lot of my knives were hitting the ceiling whenever I was at the upper level, so I take off the roof. And then I go ahead and straighten out my derp wall on the side. I do some more practice running to again get a feel for how long it takes to get from side to side and do some practice double jumps. For this round, I go ahead and use the bewitching table. Since you can technically do Skeletron and explore the dungeon before defeating the eye, I figure that's a fair strategy. The flinxes don't do a lot of damage anyways, and again, I really just want the auditory cue for where the eye is. I've got it set to expert difficulty, nighttime, and I remember to replace my heart lantern that had hung from the ceiling last time. I stock up on plenty of bone knives to make sure I don't run out, refresh my buffs, do a final check of difficulty settings, then put on the blinder and start the fight. Same plan as last time basically, though I want to try to stay more at the top of the arena to get maximum nice coverage area. The eye moves faster here and I'm getting hit a lot more, but the damage is again pretty negligible with the regeneration I have. Phase 2 starts sooner than I had expected, and every now and then I manage to get a good lineup with the knives. Spazzy charges start up, but I just keep moving and throwing. At one point I accidentally hovered my mouse over my buffs, which caused the auto throw to stop. But I press the mouse button again, start getting hit a lot more with the almost non-stop spazzy charges, and soon enough the eye goes splat. I'm 2 for 2 against the eye now on classic and expert difficulty, and again, really not hard at all. I pop open the treasure bag just for fun, but won't be using the shield for the next round. Time to try master mode. Knives get extra restocked. I warp back to the house to refresh my bewitching table buff, reset time to dusk, and bump up the difficulty to master mode. Potion buffs get refreshed, and just to make sure everyone knows that the fight is still legit, here's the gear loadout once again. I consider putting something in my extra empty accessory slot for master mode, but decide not to. Blindfold goes on, and I start the fight. Pretty early on I get my cursor out of position, hard to tell where it is when you can't see it. This round I'm generally trying to stay more still when I think it's shooting out servants, and then moving around more when I think it's doing charges. Not sure if that's actually working well or not. I can hear that I've been getting hit a lot, but obviously have no idea what my health is at, so I go ahead and pop a healing potion. I get back into my circular movement pattern and, watching the replay, it's all going really quite well. The eye does a spinny spin and the roar signals phase 2. I keep moving around as best I can, but looks like my health is holding pretty stable. And here come the spazzy charges. Compared to the other difficulties, my health is actually trending in the downward direction. I managed to pop another healing potion, the eye is spazzing non-stop now, but as expected, the knives are still hitting pretty often. And then, a few moments later, as my health starts to get dangerously low, the boss is down. Success, with me eventually realizing that I had won. So yeah, that round things definitely got a bit more hairy, but that was fun and I'm pretty pleased with how things turned out. So let's try For the Worthy Master Mode. I've only got one For the Worthy Journey world, the aptly named Mortuary of Bad Decisions, which I've really only previously used for I think my Brain of Cthulhu guide I did a while back. And this character has never been here before. Since I don't want to make a whole new fighting arena for the blind eye fight, I just run over to my Brain of Cthulhu arena, fix it up a bit to keep me inside, and then get ready for the fight. I decide to turn off regular monster spawns. The last thing I need is a face monster or something ganking me. I don't have a bewitching table in this arena, and this character doesn't know how to duplicate one, so I go back to the other world, refresh the buff, then run back to the arena. Knives get reloaded, I confirm we're on master mode, time unfrozen and set to dusk, and then the blinder goes on. Fight starts, and I'm dead. Well, that was fast. Yeah, the damage output is way higher on For the Worthy Master Mode, even compared to regular Master Mode. I decide to reset and try again. Maybe I just got off to a bad start last time? I last a little bit longer this time, but not much, and decide that a blind For the Worthy Master Mode fight, absent some sort of super cheese method, isn't something that I feel like banging my head against. So yeah, Classic, Expert, and Master Mode Blindfolded are down in the books. For the Worthy, well, I'm not terribly masochistic, but what do you think? Can it be done? How would you do it? And if any of you manage to pull it off, be sure to let me know how you did it. But that's all for today. If you like this type of Terraria content, be sure to let me know down in the comments, and if you have any ideas for other things to try, do share. But until then, I'll get back to my regularly scheduled beginner's guides, playthroughs, and live streams, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!